In this video, I'm going to make this resume example for customer success managers using Microsoft Word. It's a simple yet professional setup that encourages hiring managers to read through. Now, if you prefer to save some time and want to download matching resumes and cover letter templates, then click on the link in the description for more information. Now, we'll also provide you with tips on how to put your skills and experiences on the resume to make it better than 9 out of 10 other resumes, based on solid research. Now, without further ado, let's start making this resume. Okay, so we start off with a new document in Microsoft Word, and the first thing I would like to change are the margin settings. Now go to the Layout tab, Margins, and pick the narrow margin settings. Now, I would advise you to pick the narrow settings for some extra space and to avoid cropped sentences. Now, after that, we hover over to the Insert tab, Shapes, and pick a simple text box. Now cover the header area, and once that is done, I would like to zoom in a bit more. Now for this video, I choose No Shape Fill and would like a shape outline. Now let's pick this dark bluish color for example. Okay, next up we need to include some personal information. First you need to enter your name and surname. Go to the Home tab to center it and increase the font size to, let's say, 24. Now bold highlight it to make it stand out a bit more. Okay, now let's include some contact information underneath and pick a 12-point font size. Now start with the city and state, then the email address. Let's remove the hyperlink. And then we enter the phone number. And at last a link to your, for example, personal website or a LinkedIn profile. Now research shows that a link to a comprehensive LinkedIn profile can increase your chances by 71% for getting an invitation to an interview. Now, as you can see, we need to detach the cursor from the text box. Now, in order to do so, press the spacebar once and the enter button a couple of times. Now, let's divide the resume into sections, including a summary, skills, experience, education, and an interest section in caps lock. Now, many people ask me about the sequence of these sections. It highly depends on the job's profile and your professional experience background. But remember, always put the best stuff above the fold. Okay, let me add some space in between each section. And bold highlight summary. We also need to adjust the line spacing options. Now go to the spacing settings and change these to 12 points before and 12 points after. And then press OK. Now, if it turns out you need more text to fit on one page, you can easily reduce this afterwards. Now, we also need to add some borders to visually separate these sections from the body text. Click on this little arrow icon and pick top and bottom borders in the drop-down menu. Furthermore, pick in between the 13 to 16 point font size. Now, I think that 14 looks fine. Now, let's center the title as well. And after that, we need to copy and paste the formatting. Now, place the cursor in the middle of the keyword. Click the Format Painter twice and select the other sections to paste the style. Alright, and then we disable the formatting option. Okay, now let's start with the summary. Now I would advise you to use this section to direct the reader's attention and inform them about who you are, the position you are after, how many years of experience you have, what expertise you would like to leverage, and optionally, inform them about your availability. Now these are not set in stone. You might want to leave or include something else in your summary, but always question yourself, what makes me the ideal candidate for this role? And put that in your summary section. Alright, let me center the text and move on to the next section. Now in the skills section, we want to properly list some of our most important customer success managerial skills. Go to the Insert tab, click on the table drop-down menu and pick a 3x1 table. Now as you can see, the margins are not perfect, so let's adjust that. Go to the table layout, cell margins, and change the left and right windows to 0. Now before I add some skills related to the job description, research shows that applicants matched only 51% of the relevant keywords and skills on their resumes. Now, in order to know what kind of keywords you should be looking at, I would advise you to copy the job description, go to the free word cloud generator, paste it right in there and click on Generate Cloud and match these keywords to your qualifications. Now, as you can see, all the cells are filled and categorized to improve the readability. Next up, I want to align these cells. And after that, remove the borders. Now in order to do so, select the whole table, click the drop down icon and select No Borders. Okay, so next up we have the experience section. So let's say you have some experience as a customer success manager at a company. Also enter the city, state and employment duration on the right side. Now to align some of the information to the right side, we need a ruler. Now if you don't see this option, you need to go to the View tab and enable Ruler. Okay, let me show you what this option does. So if you place the cursor right here, click somewhere in the ruler to place a left tab stop and press tab. Now I want to align it to the very end, so I simply drag this tiny arrow icon accordingly. Okay, let me enter some working experience and fast forward a bit. Now I structured these sentences according to the PAR method, which stands for Problem, Action and Results. That way you bring impact and purpose to your experiences. Now same goes for using action verbs at the beginning of each sentence. Action verbs like collaborated, delivered and exceeded. Furthermore, do you notice how I quantified my experiences? Now, measurable metrics illustrate someone's value and improves your chances of getting that interview. Next up we can start adding the educational background. And after that we need to add some subcategories and list information on, for example, GPA, extracurricular activities and relevant coursework. Pretty straightforward. After that we move on to the interest section. Now, although this section is not a requirement, I would recommend you to include it in your resume, if you still have some space left at least. Now it takes just a couple of words to show the human side behind the resume. Now that doesn't mean you should add some fluffy buzzwords and cliches, like 51% of the applicants include in their resumes, but try to grab the reader's attention by making it relevant or relatable. For example, if you like reading, add some book titles that relate to a customer success manager position. Or if you want to come across as someone that is adventurous, don't simply enter traveling, but also inform the reader about, for example, your travel ambitions. Or perhaps you like watching Netflix. Include some of your favorite series and write something along the lines of binge-watched Game of Thrones and The Sopranos. Now there's a big chance that the reader watched one of these as well, so you already have some mutual interests. Anyway, I hope you get the idea. Now keep your resume short, concise and to the point. Recent data shows that the ideal resume length is in between the 475 to 600 words. A stunning 77% of the resumes were outside of that range. Lastly, I also want to emphasize the importance of properly sending your resume. Now unless instructed otherwise, save your resume as a PDF or Word document attached to the email and save it accordingly. So, name, surname, resume. Now that way, the reader will know that it is yours without even opening the file. Now all these little things proves your attention to detail and increases your chances of getting that interview. Okay, so before I end this video, I would like to know if you watched the whole video. And I'm even more curious if you actually got the customer success manager's position. Leave an emoji with glasses if you watched the video till the end. Leave an emoji with sunglasses if you got the job. I want to thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll respond as soon as possible. Now if this video was helpful, then a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for watching and see you next time. Bye!